Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this video. So, in this video, I'm going to tell about my English journey. So, how I started speaking in English, how I spoke first time in English, what was my first encounter with English. That is going to be conveyed by me in this video. So, इट्स द ये बात है फिफ्थ की जब ये बात है फिफ्थ की व्हेन आई रियलाइज दैट आई कैन रीड इंग्लिश, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड द इंग्लिश, बट आई कैन नॉट स्पीक इंग्लिश. क्योंकि एक दिन क्या हुआ था नॉर्मल जो असेंबली होती है सुबह सुबह, आवर स्कूल टीचर यूज टू कंडक्ट असेंबली एंड ईच क्लास was at that time each class were given one chance to perform in a week in front of all, and that class would be performing in front of all the students and conducting the assembly. One day when my turn was there it was decided it had been decided earlier that before teacher used to inform us before 3-4 days that your turn is going to be on this day, so be ready to perform on stage. They used to inform us earlier, so when it comes to us we become attentive. So at that time when I realized that I have to really go on stage and speak in English, so at that time I really started observing उस टाइम पे ज़्यादा टाइम at that moment there wasn't much of time, but there was a gap of 3 days in between. So I started listening to the other classes students performing on the stage each day. So one thing I observed that each student was reciting one same line with a new fact. Suppose the host, which is the anchor, he used to call every student only repeating one line. And it's not the case about any one class, it's the case about all the classes. And the problem is at that time I don't know any English. Means I knew English. I at that time I was able to read English, I was able to understand English, but was not able to speak the English. I wasn't able to convey my message in English. So at that time I thought that why is this same, why are the all class students are reciting same lines. So at this moment I am realizing that teachers don't perform their duty really well. तो मैं बताता हूँ इंग्लिश कब आने लगती है. इंग्लिश बोलना किसी के ऊपर नहीं होता, वो it depends on the environment. The environment in which you are living teaches you how to behave, how to speak. So उस टाइम पे वो it's the duty of teacher to teach good things, and English is obviously is good thing. As I have mentioned earlier, I was able to read and understand English, but was not able to speak, which is also embarrassing for me, because at that time I was in the 5th class, and from the nursery I was in the English school. It was really embarrassing to me. So अभी मुझे ये रियलाइज़ हो रहा है कि उनका जो काम था उन्होंने वो ठीक से नहीं किया. स्कूल का नाम ही है इंग्लिश, लेकिन बच्चे उसमें हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं. क्या लॉजिक है इसका? इट वॉज जस्ट अ बुलशिट it was just a bullshit. तो उस टाइम पे at that moment I realized that English is very important and speaking is very much important. And slowly I have realized that during that process, uh, English is not going to every at that time I have realized that uh, it is a language is not going to come in only one day. It will gradually absorb within you. सपोज़ फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आप जब बचपन में हिंदी सीखते थे तो क्या आपने हर बार ग्रामर पढ़ी थी? आप अपने मम्मी पापा के देख के ही सीखे हो ना, वैसे ही like that only you just have, if you want to really learn English, you just have to communicate in English. तो अब बात आती है उस फेज़ की जब मुझे रियलाइज़ हो चुका था कि अगर सच में if I really want to learn the English, then I have to start communicating. Then I was also encouraging other students because I was a good guy. I was encouraging my classmates to speak in English because it is really very embarrassing. Just imagine you are a student which is learning from nursery to 5th in a English school and is not able to speak in English, just a sentence only. So at that time I encouraged others also, but what they have done in response, each one was very unaware of the situation and didn't took me seriously, and they used to make fun of it by means at that time I was very serious. I used to communicate as usual, but they used to make fun by saying instead of saying I am eating, they used to say I am khaing. Instead of saying I am going to washroom, they used to say muting. What's this behavior? At that time I realized, if you want to really do something, if you want to really learn something, it is not going to come in a group. You alone have to suffer. You alone have to, what I can say, you alone have to thrive for that new ability, for that new skill. And after that, as the starting motivation gradually slows down from that time to when I shifted to a district, and at that time it was 2022 when I got admission in my new school in that district. So that that school was English school, and same case was also here, but in a different manner, because there was a minor chunk of teachers who used to encourage students to speak in English. That's when I got one encounter of our principal of the school named as Zamkar sir. He used to speak only in English just to make sure that everyone is being affected by him. His mindset was that if I am going to speak in English, by seeing me, every little child will learn from me, and he'll also communicate as I am communicating. So that at that time he asked me some question, and I was just answering yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. So that time I realized that at that moment I realized that conveying your message is a great power, such a great power, that you can convince someone. And if you are not able to speak any language, if you are not able to convey your message in some specific language, then you, as a human, you are useless. And surely I can say it is proven also, because without language you cannot express your emotions, express your message, what what you will do. These are the emotions which are invented after every language, because when we say eating means we are eating food. That's when after after the language we got to know about the sign like this, eating. अभी देखो, जो ऐसे तोतले हैं या फिर बोलने में उनको थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम होती है, तो उनकी तो पूरी लाइफ ही बर्बाद है, क्योंकि speech is such type of power which God himself have given ourselves. uh, from any function, from any program, you must have observed, you must have witnessed some people who are very familiar to speak on stage. At that time it seems very normal, but when you get on stage, the world looks really different. The world look really different. So that's why I wanted to say in this video. So my clear message is, I want to say that if you are really trying to improve something, if you really think that I don't have something, I don't have any good looks, I don't have intelligence, I don't have a nice car, I don't have a nice bike, then just work on a skill. And the easiest skill which I can suggest you is speaking in a new language. Suppose if you are the one in your group who is what I can say, refrained by anyone, avoided by anyone, so you can learn any skill, you can learn any new language to not just to get their attention, but to improve yourself. If you have master, if you have been experiencing same feeling which I have mentioned before, then try the solution which I have mentioned before, and after that tell me what happens in your life. After that tell me what happens in your life. Is your life similar to that previous version or not? So that's it for today's video. I hope it's a very delightful session meeting to you. So that's it for today's video. I'll meet you in next video. Till then, bye bye.